that the youth confab he promised in the aftermath of the End Bad Governance protests across the country would begin in the first quarter of 2025 as a testament of his government's commitment to youth inclusiveness and investment as nation builders. Imo State Governor Hope Uzodimma has assured the people of accelerated development in all parts of the state this year. He said with the planned industrialization of the state and the level of infrastructural development already achieved by his administration, Imo will experience an economic boom in 2025. In his New Year message to the people, the governor, however, asked them to support the administration and rededicate themselves to the service of the state. The federal government has been urged to prioritize reforms in the country's transportation sector in 2025. Managing Director of Abojoni Transport Company, Ismaila Yusuf Etus, made the call in a New Year message, emphasizing the need for a more affordable, safer, and efficient transport system to address the rising challenges faced by Nigerians in the previous year. He urged the government to focus on developing a system where citizens can track their rights in real time and feel secure during their travels. On a side note now, 2 people have been hospitalized after the residents of the Soje area in Minna, Niger State capital, clashed with some members of the Vigilante Corps. Reports say the clash was ignited by a raid carried out by the members of the Vigilante Corps as they went after people in the Black Spots in Soje area of Minna, which is known as a zone for hoodlums and drug peddlers. Meanwhile, some of the residents who spoke to newsmen on condition of anonymity say the part of the Soje that was raided by the vigilantes was not really part of the trouble zone. Kano State government has expressed deep opposition to the proposed tax reforms bill before the National Assembly. Governor Abba Yusuf, represented by his deputy Aminu Gwarzo, said the tax reform bill is not the solution to the country's economic challenges, noting that Kano State stands firmly against any policy that negatively affects the welfare of the people. He lauded the resilience of Kano residents amidst economic challenges, describing the proposed tax hike as ill-timed, lopsided, and inimical to the unity of the country. The Nigeria Labour Congress (NLC) has insisted on the withdrawal of tax reform bills forwarded by President Bola Tinubu to the National Assembly for passage to enable all key national stakeholders be part of the process. The bills had drawn sharp criticisms from some parts of the country, especially Nigeria's north, which saw them as anti-growth in the region. In its New Year message to Nigerians, especially workers, President of the Congress, Joe Ajaero, equally said organized labor will step up its battle for an upward wage review for workers to mitigate the high cost of living. Ajaero also called on the federal government to prioritize social dialogue in 2025. Meanwhile, Senator Orji Uzor Kalu has assured the economic reforms of President Bola Tinubu are necessary and would yield positive results. The Abia North senator explained that the revamping of the nation's laws, some of which are over 100 years old, is imperative and inevitable considering its obsoleteness and ineffectiveness to meet the expectations of the current global economic realities. In a statement by his media aide, Kenneth Ude, in Abuja, the former Abia State governor spoke at the Igbere home of a former Abia governorship aspirant of the All Progressives Congress, Chief Daniel Eke. Though he advocated for wider consultations, he faulted mode of his introduction, saying that Nigerians are not sufficiently educated before the bill was introduced. Meanwhile, Abia State Governor Alex Oti has announced a ban on all forms of payments in primary and secondary schools across the state. Governor Oti, in his New Year address, underscored his administration's resolve to safeguard the future of the children. To ensure smooth school operations, the governor unveiled a new financial system for public schools, noting that head teachers and school principals are now entitled to specific sums every month for managing the day-to-day operations of their schools. Sounds like a forward-thinking approach to better administration of public school system. Let's turn to other stories quickly. The presidential candidate for the Labour Party in the 2023 general election, Peter Obi, has denied any merger talks with the People's Democratic Party, the New Nigeria People's Party, or any other party. Obi made this statement during a press conference in Abuja, where he addressed the state of the nation, emphasizing that no agreement has been reached with any of the party. He also called on all Nigerians to unite ahead of the 2027 election in order to defeat the ruling All Progressives Congress, APC. This is Global Television, and you're watching the live broadcast of the midday news coming to you from Abuja, Nigeria's capital. When the rest of the midday news returns shortly, Eagles goalkeeper Wambali's mother dies weeks after father's death. We have details of that sad story, as well as more stories from business and global scene. Thank you for staying with us, everyone. You're watching the live broadcast of the media news here with Uyi Agmofwegbe. Let's begin the second half of the news with business. The federal government has commenced the implementation of the 2024 withholding tax regulations, which was approved by President Bola Tinubu in July 2024 and published in the official gazette in October. The revised regulations became effective on January 1, 2025, signaling effort to modernize Nigeria's tax system designed to streamline compliance processes, reduce inefficiencies, and ease administrative burdens for businesses. Announcing the commencement of the new tax regime on New Year's Day, the chairman of the Presidential Committee on Fiscal Policy and Tax Reforms, Taiwo Oyedele, said on his X account that these changes are particularly aimed at small and medium-scale enterprises, manufacturers, producers, and farmers, sectors considered vital to Nigeria's economic stability and growth. An analysis of data from the Central Bank of Nigeria has shown that the official exchange rates between the Naira and the US dollar ended in 2024 at 1,535 Naira. This was as a 40.9% depreciation over the year when compared to the official rates at the close of 2023, which stood at 907 Naira 11 kobo to the greenback. The significant depreciation comes amid the CBN's introduction of several foreign exchange policies aimed at enhancing market transparency and attracting foreign investors. These measures included reforms such as the unification of foreign exchange windows under the Nigerian foreign exchange market and the introduction of the Nigerian FX Code, which mandates ethical conduct and governance among market participants. A petition has been written to the Vice Chairman of the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, FCCPC, over the utility company's alleged failure to replace its obsolete prepaid meter. A customer of the Ikeja Electricity Distribution Company, who is also an associate professor, Tunde Akoni, in the petition titled SOS on Massive Extortion of Customers by Ikeja Electricity Distribution Company, sought the urgent intervention of the Commission. Let's stay with business now as we take a look at other stories for you, this time on the foreign scene, where officials now say a U.S. Army veteran with an Islamic State flag steered a pickup truck into a crowd of New Year revelers in New Orleans, killing at least 15 people and injuring dozens. The FBI identified the attacker as Shamsuddin Jabba, a 42-year-old U.S. citizen from Texas who appeared to have been a real estate agent working in Houston and has served as an IT specialist in the military. Officials say they were searching for accomplices but gave few details. Police Superintendent Ann Kirkpatrick described Jabba as a terrorist, and the FBI said an ISIS flag was located in the vehicle using another name for the Islamic State jihadist group. The police have disclosed that a Tesla Cybertruck exploded outside of a hotel belonging to the United States President-elect Donald Trump in Las Vegas, killing at least one person and wounding 7. U.S. President Joe Biden said authorities were investigating any links between the Las Vegas explosion and an attack earlier on Wednesday in New Orleans, where a truck plowed into a crowd of New Year's revelers, killing at least 15 people. The Federal Bureau of Investigation and local law enforcement say they believe the Tesla blast was an isolated incident, but they were investigating whether it was an act of terrorism. Let's turn to Asia now, where South Korean police say the chief executive officer of the South Korean airline, Jeju Air, Kim Bae, has been banned from leaving the country after one of the company's planes crashed last week, killing 179 people. This comes after the South Korean police raided the offices of Jeju Air and the operator of Muan International Airport as part of the probe into the fatal crash of a Boeing 737-800 plane that killed over 170 people on board. The flight was carrying 181 people from Thailand to South Korea on Sunday when it issued a mayday call and barely landed before slamming into a barrier, killing everyone on board except 2 flight attendants pulled from the burning wreckage. That sad story is a developing event, and Global Television will continue to follow it for you. Let's catch some excitement from the world of sports now. Nigerian-born British professional boxer Anthony Joshua says his target in 2025 is to beat Tyson Fury and become a 3-time world heavyweight champion. Joshua, speaking to journalists after a visit to President Bola Tinubu in Lagos, said he is hungry for more success and would work harder to achieve his target. Joshua, who noted that he felt good energy during his visits to President Tinubu, noted that the chances of becoming a 3-time world heavyweight champion are not over yet. Optimism in play, no doubt about that. Let's talk about soccer a little. Super Eagles goalkeeper Sterling Nwabali has again been thrown into mourning with the demise of his mother, barely a month after the death of his father. The bereaved Nwabali took to social media on January 1, 2025 to announce the devastating news. The Nigeria's prior to go tender, however, did not disclose the details about his mother's passing. He, 2027, had told only that he lost his father just over a month ago, a few hours before the Super Eagles match against Rwanda in the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations qualification game in November. Michael Arteta has reviewed Arsenal's preparations for their 3-1 win at Brentford, were hampered by a virus that swept through his squad. Several of Arsenal's stars were struck down by the illness on the eve of the crucial Premier League clash on Wednesday. German forward Kai Havertz was sent home with the bug, while England midfielder Declan Rice was only able to come off the bench in the second half. Marcus Rashford has blasted ridiculous claims that the unsettled Manchester United star wants a new agent to fulfill his desire to quit Old Trafford. A report this week says England forward Rashford had met with a leading sports agency in a bid to engineer a move. The 27-year-old hinted he would be prepared to leave the United in an interview last month. Rashford said he was ready for a new challenge after falling out of favor under new boss Ruben Amorim. And that's a wrap on Global Television's midday news. Quick reminder that Global TV is on DSTV channel 365, Star Times 276, and free to air on Nightcomsat. Remember to follow us across all of our social media platforms, engaging with us using the handle at Global TV NG, as well as other handles as you now find on your screen. I am Uyag Mofwebe saying a big thank you to you for watching. We will see you again.